Have you ever come back from a walk with your dog on a scorching afternoon, and within minutes he's flopped on the kitchen tile, tongue hanging out, sides heaving like he just ran a marathon, and some tiny voice in your head whispers, "Is this normal? Or is something actually wrong right now?" What if I told you that the single biggest mistake causing heat stroke in dogs and cats isn't the heat itself? It's something you're doing, or not doing, in the 10 minutes before you even step outside. You're probably thinking, "Come on, doctor, vital, it's just a walk. How much difference can 10 minutes really make?" I promise you, it makes all the difference. And this isn't just my opinion. This is backed by real veterinary emergency data and clinical research on thermoregulation, which is just a fancy way of saying how your pet's body manages its own temperature. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Vital, and welcome back to the channel. Now here's a statistic that genuinely shocked me the first time I saw it in clinical practice. Over 70% of heat stroke cases I have seen in dogs happen not during the hottest part of the day, but within the first 15 minutes of a walk that the owner considered safe. Not at noon, not on some blazing record-breaking day, on regular, ordinary afternoons that just felt warm. And if you didn't know that, you are not a bad pet parent. Nobody teaches you this. Vet clinics don't send home a heat stroke pamphlet with your puppy's first vaccine. So please don't beat yourself up if you've been walking your dog the same way for years without knowing this. You're here now, and that's what matters. Grab a pen and a notebook, because today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to check before every single summer walk, how to actually read your dog or cat's body before symptoms escalate, a few surprisingly simple techniques using things you probably already have at home, and the warning signs that mean you need to stop everything and get to a vet immediately. Let's get into it. Let's start with the ground. Literally, the pavement under your pet's paws. Here's the mechanism most people never think about. Asphalt can be 40 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than the surrounding air temperature. So if it's a mild 77 degrees out, that sidewalk could be sitting at 125 degrees or more. That's hot enough to cause burns on paw pads within 60 seconds of contact. And paw pad burns don't just hurt. They also mess with your dog's ability to cool himself, because dogs release some heat through their paws. My actionable tip here, before you even clip on the leash, press the back of your hand flat against the pavement and hold it there for 7 full seconds. If it's too hot for your hand, it is too hot for your dog's paws, full stop. Do this test at the actual time of day you plan to walk, not earlier in the morning when it's cooler, because temperatures shift fast. A quick safety caveat: don't assume grass or dirt trails are automatically safe either, because direct sun exposure can still heat those surfaces significantly. So the hand test is really about the specific spot, not the general terrain type. Now let's move to the next one, because this is something almost nobody checks. Humidity. Not just temperature. Here's the science made simple. Your dog cools himself primarily through panting, which works by evaporating moisture off his tongue and airways. But evaporation only works efficiently when the air can actually absorb that moisture. When humidity climbs above 60%, the air is already saturated, so panting becomes far less effective. It's like trying to dry a towel in a steam room. This means a humid 82-degree day can actually be more dangerous than a dry 90-degree day, which surprises almost every pet owner I talk to. My tip: check the heat index, not just the temperature, using any basic weather app before you head out. And if the heat index sits above 90, shorten your walk to under 15 minutes, or move it to early morning or after sunset instead. The caveat here is important. Flat-faced breeds like pugs, bulldogs, and Boston Terriers, along with senior pets and overweight pets, have significantly reduced panting efficiency to begin with. So for them, that 90 heat index threshold should probably be closer to 80, because their margin for error is just much smaller. Let's move to the next one. And this is honestly one of my favorite simple fixes, because it takes under 2 minutes, and most people have never tried it. It's called pre-cooling, and it's exactly what it sounds like: lowering your pet's baseline body temperature before he even starts exerting himself. Think of it like pre-chilling a cooler before you pack it with ice. You're giving the body a head start. My actionable technique: about 10 minutes before your walk, gently wet your dog's ears, the pads of his paws, and the fur along his belly and inner thighs with cool, not ice-cold, water using a damp washcloth. These are areas with blood vessels close to the skin surface, so cooling here actually helps. Lower core temperature slightly before you even leave the house. A safety caveat worth mentioning: never use ice-cold water or ice packs directly on the skin, because this can cause blood vessels near the surface to constrict rapidly, which paradoxically traps heat inside the body instead of releasing it. Lukewarm to cool is the sweet cool, never freezing. Now here's something even more important, and if you saw the thumbnail of this video saying you need to do this before every single summer walk, this next part is really the heart of that. Promise. It's about hydration timing, not just hydration amount. Most owners give their dog water after the walk, when he's already panting and stressed. But here's the mechanism. Dehydration reduces blood volume, which directly reduces your dog's ability to transport heat away from his internal organs toward the skin to be released. So a slightly dehydrated pet walking into the heat is starting the walk already behind. My specific tip: offer your dog access to fresh water about 20 to 30 minutes before the walk, not immediately before, because drinking a large volume right before physical activity can occasionally lead to stomach discomfort or bloating in certain breeds. And bring water with you too. A general guideline is about 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight available during any outing longer than 20 minutes. The caveat: don't force water into a reluctant pet by syringe or forcing the bowl on them repeatedly, because forced hydration can cause aspiration, meaning liquid accidentally entering the lungs, which is a completely separate emergency. Encourage, don't force. Let's move to the next one. And this is about reading your pet's body language in real time while you're actually out on the walk, because prevention before the walk is only half the picture. Here's what's happening physiologically when heat stroke begins. Your dog's body temperature rises above the normal range of 101 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and the body starts prioritizing blood flow to the skin and muscles to dissipate heat, which means less blood flow to the brain and organs, and that's when things escalate quickly. The early signs are subtle: heavier panting than usual, bright red gums, and a slight wobble or hesitation in the gait, almost like he's thinking twice about each step. My actionable tip: every 5 minutes during a summer walk, do a quick 15-second check. Glance at the gums, watch the pace, and if he stops to lie down in shade unprompted, that is not stubbornness. That is a very clear signal his body is asking for a break. Stop immediately when you see this. The safety caveat: never mistake this for laziness or misbehavior, and try to encourage him forward with treats or a firmer leash pull, because pushing through those early signs is exactly how mild overheating turns into full heat stroke within minutes. Now let's talk about something even more important still: cats. Because I get so many messages from cat owners assuming this entire topic doesn't apply to them, since cats aren't usually walked on leashes the same way. But indoor cats overheat too, especially near windows, sunrooms, or balconies during summer afternoons. And the mechanism is the same: reduced ability to dissipate heat, especially in flat-faced breeds like Persians. My tip for cat owners: during peak afternoon hours, roughly 12 to 4 p.m., close blinds on any window that receives direct sun, and always leave at least 2 water sources available in cooler parts of the home, because cats often won't travel far for water when they're feeling sluggish from heat. The caveat: never assume a lethargic, quiet cat is just being a cat, because cats are masters at hiding distress. And unusual stillness, combined with rapid, open-mouth breathing, is actually a more urgent emergency sign in cats than in dogs. Before I wrap up, I do want to be really honest with you about 2 things, because I always want to give you responsible advice, not just a highlight reel of tips. First, please don't try to combine every single method we talked about into one dramatic routine before every walk. You don't need to soak your dog in wet towels, force hydration, do the pavement test, and shorten the walk all in one go, every single time. That's a whiz. Overwhelming for you, and honestly unnecessary on a mild 70-degree morning. Use your judgment, check the actual conditions that day, and apply the techniques that match the situation. And second, please know the difference between let's cool down and rest, and this is a genuine emergency. If your dog or cat is vomiting, has gums that are pale, blue, or brick red, seems disoriented, collapses, or has a body temperature you can tell is dangerously high and it isn't improving, within a few minutes of getting to shade and water, that is not a wait-and-see situation. That is an immediate trip to the emergency vet. No hesitation. No waiting to see if it passes on its own. So to bring it all together, a few small habits: the pavement test, checking humidity alongside temperature, pre-cooling those key areas, timing hydration properly, and simply learning to read your pet's body during the walk itself can genuinely be the difference between a joyful summer walk and a terrifying emergency room visit. I'd really love to know, which one of these tips did you not know about before today? Let me know in the comments, because I read every single one, and it helps me know what to cover next. And if this video gave you even one thing you're going to do differently this week, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got a whole summer of these practical, science-backed tips coming your way. Until next time, take care of those paws, keep that water bowl full, and give your furry friend a little extra love from me today. I'm Dr. Vital, and I'll see you in the next one.